Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. And don't forget, 1 week from tomorrow, we will be at the Chantilly Expo Center, or excuse me, the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly, Virginia, where the CSA is having another one of their great autograph signing shows. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But who cares about Saturday that has Redskins and Eagles? We're concerned about Sunday that's going to have quite a few Dallas Cowboys, from Ed Too Tall Jones to Tony Dorsett to Randy White. Michael Gallup's going to be there. Randall Cobb, the governor, will be there, as well as some others. I think Roy Williams is going to be there, and I'm trying to think, who did I forget? But definitely the Joe Boo Sports Report will be there, and we hope to see you guys there as well. And we're still in that dead period. We've got less than 3 weeks till the team heads to Oxnard, and hopefully the earthquakes are done by the time the Cowboys get there. Thoughts and prayers to everybody in California. Hopefully that's the end of the big ones, for the next 20, 30, 40 years or so. Because, definitely there's a whole lot of shaking going on in California. So I was looking at Bleacher Report, and David Hausman had posted, tweeted about the worst non-playoff loss that you remember the Cowboys. And one of the ones that I remember is the Dallas Cowboys going against the Detroit Lions and being up by 24 points, I believe, and throwing two interceptions to Bobby Carpenter, pick sixes, that ended up being a loss to the Cowboys. And, I've got some so-called Dallas Cowboys fans, not so much here on YouTube, but on Facebook. There's one person in particular who claims to be a Cowboy fan, but his whole life literally is, I think, sitting by waiting for me to post a video on Facebook so that way he can comment about Dak Prescott. And I don't understand how you can claim to be a fan of the Cowboys. And I got to tell you, after seeing that tweet, it hit me in my head. I've got so much minutia that's going on in here. I forget so many different things, and then something knocks it around a bit, and something comes out. And it hit me about this Dallas Cowboy team. When you start thinking about some of the ugly losses that we've had, I'm talking about like being up against Matt Flynn led Green Bay Packers, and I'm talking 26-3, and losing and passing the ball more in the second half. Like I said, the Lions, we lost twice to the Lions after being up big. You think about these games where, as a Cowboy fan, you were like, okay, we're up, but what's going to happen? Some crazy freak thing is going to happen to us to lose the game. And this is a list here. Bear with me, and I know this is painful, but bear with me, because this is the list of 10 worst Cowboys losses. Lions, Cowboys, they only have that one at 10, but I remember that one like it was yesterday. Dallas blows a 27-3 lead as Tony Romo throws two third-quarter interceptions for touchdowns, and Calvin Johnson catches a clinching touchdown. Again, to me, the worst part about that was what they didn't put in there, that Bobby Carpenter, a first-round draft pick of us who didn't bust a grape, ends up being the guy to get two pick sixes. He looked like a Hall of Famer that day, and that loss. 12-25 against 10 against the Cardinals. After reducing a Christmas comeback from 18 to take a 2-point lead on a late Miles Austin touchdown, De La Bueller misses the field goal. Misses the extra point. The Cardinals convert 4th and 15 and then celebrate with Jay Feely's 49-yard field goal. So it's kind of like we were Charlie Brown getting ready to kick the football, and Lucy pulled it out. Giants 37, Cowboys 34. Dallas leads 34-22 with 5:41 left, but gives up two late TDs and losses when Dan Bailey's 47-yard field goal is blocked on the final play. Patriots, Cowboys, 2011. After setting up for a field goal on 2 drives inside the New England 10 on the fourth quarter, Dallas watches Tom Brady cap an 80-yard drive with an 8-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Hernandez with 22 seconds left. Jets Cowboys. Dallas leads 14 points in the fourth quarter but coughs up a blocked punt for a touchdown. A Romo fumble inside the New York 10 and eventually loses for former teammate Nick Folks' 50-yard field goal with 50 seconds left. Ravens Cowboys. After dominating the game and recovering an onside kick late, Dallas loses when an inexplicable allows 16 seconds to run off the clock after a pass and then watches Bailey float a game-winning 50-yard field goal wide left. And it's the first loss in franchise history when the Cowboys ran the ball 42 times. Ouch. Saints Cowboys. Leading by 4 points in the final 2 minutes on Thanksgiving, receiver Roy Williams fumbles at New Orleans 11 after taking a long catch and run, setting up a Saints late touchdown and holds on with daily. You know what? I can stop here. It hurts too much. But what you notice is the pattern of how we're feeling good and somehow victory is snatched in the craziest of ways. You know, it was like the catch, no catch. It was like the playoff game in 2016. Here it is. We go down and score, and all of a sudden, you know, Aaron frickin' Rodgers has a miracle play that beats us. And it was just like we were snake bitten all the time. And when we started going through last year during the season, it seemed like nothing had changed. You know, because we went to, played against the Panthers and we could only score 8 points. We just couldn't get going. We had opportunities, but just couldn't do that. Of course, we took care of the cockroaches, the New York stinking Giants, and beat them, but then we always beat them. Then we had, again, another one of these snake-bitten games. Earl Thomas gets 2 interceptions from us that literally kill us, breaks our back. Of course, we beat the Lions, another, team that we usually do well against. The Texans, another one of those snake bite games. Here it is. We got the ball in overtime. We punt it and end up losing the game. It's just like the Dallas Cowboys were Charlie Brown. But something happened after that bye week, and I know we got Amari Cooper. I have been one of the hardest people on Jason Garrett. I've called for his head more than once. But when he's the coach, and I support him and hope that he succeeds. Doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize him and things like that when you mess up. But, too many times we've messed up, and it's just like we've seen the same mistakes over and over again. But something happened after that bye week. That team didn't crater. It didn't point fingers. It didn't say, the hell with it, I'm going to be out of here, or the coaching staff's going to change. That team came together. And all of a sudden, games that we had lost, because let's be honest here. A couple of those games, if we had gotten victory out of the jaws of defeat, just a couple of them here and there, we would be looking totally different at Jason Garrett. Those 8-8 seasons, one game different, you're in the playoffs every year. One game. That's how close it is. 2017, we beat Seattle, we're in the playoffs. One game. That's the difference between winning and losing. That's the difference of perception of being good versus being crap. But after that game, after the bye week, we got our ass handed to us by the Titans. But we went to Philadelphia and won that game. And that's the typical kind of game that the Cowboys usually would lose. Falcons, again, another close game. Instead, we're on the winning side of it. The Redskins, well, we took care of business against the Redskins. But again, the Saints. And these were all games, and the biggest one that we normally would have lost would have been the Eagles one, where we had been up. The Eagles come back in the fourth quarter. They tied the game. And, that's like, that's the Cowboys. We're good for 3 quarters or so, and then the fourth quarter we lose. But we didn't. We dominated in the fourth quarter. And we have been better at dominating and taking control. And dare I say, this team, this young group of guys, is finally learning how to win, because they started to kind of go through, never giving up, never making the big mistakes in the second half or the fourth quarter, digging deep and getting a victory as opposed to when we would get a defeat. And that, my friends, is part of the process of growing and becoming a great team. Good teams or great teams find a way to win in all circumstances. And I think that that's that thing that has been missing. This team has had so many close defeats by a point or two that it just never learned how to win, how to close out a game until the second half of last season. If they can do that, get a few turnovers, and be a little bit better in the red zone, watch out, NFL, because you may look at something really special this year. So that's all I got to say about that. I just had a few thoughts. Like I said, I've been kind of laying a little bit low because so many people have been saying, take a day off. You talk too damn much. Give some space to other people. We're sick and tired of seeing you post. So I figured I'd take it a little easy today. And the funny thing is I've gotten more text messages, emails, and comments like, yo, where's my Jobu Sports Report fix? Are you okay? Did something happen? So I guess I'm just not everybody's cup of tea, but the ones that I am, they definitely like it. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon.